𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday, people. Hold on 1 second. Hi, hello, Miss in the Sanctuary. Hi, everyone. Hi, TikTok. Okay, there we go. Hello, everybody. Facebook, Instagram. Good evening. How are you doing? Good evening. Official man. Y'all just come up with usernames that's like, like how do you come up with it? But anyway, listen. Hey, Miss Abdina, how are you? Miss Peggy, you're live on YouTube. Thank you. And Instagram. And Instagram. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. How was your day? Hope it wasn't stressed. It was. Oh, I mean, what about? I'm just going to be honest. Well, I don't know how to be anything else but honest. It's been a long week. It's been a long week. Oh. And I was shouting too much in court today because I had that's one of the things that drains you. You think immigration is hard. Try doing child custody visitation fight. Oh, yeah. So I had a child custody trial today, and my client, well, it's a win for us because we got the proposal that we wanted. Because I always have something up my sleeve. So it's been a week preparing for an immigration interview, telephonic interviews, in family law trial. So I am worn out. Thank you, Miss Peggy. But anyway, I was like, okay, I've signed up for this, so I better show up. If you're just joining us for the first time, this is Attorney Abisola Adebola Olale Omobabasamu, immigration attorney based in Alabama, but we represent immigration clients in every single state. Name the state, we can represent you. It doesn't matter where you, when it comes to immigration, nothing else, just immigration inspector practice. So, but we do this every Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's Alabama time. 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And to bug me anywhere else, well, I'm allowed to find out what the time zone don't you? But anyway, we're truly, in all seriousness, we can represent you in any immigration case. It doesn't matter what state you live in. Keep in mind also, we do consular processing cases. Contact information for us is 334-341-4475. We will be happy to help you. We'll be privileged to represent you and honored to represent you in this crazy immigration journey that, if you've been through it, you know that's not for the faint of heart. It is not. And so, it will turn your black hair into salt and pepper like that. But we'll be glad to represent you in your immigration case. Contact us 334-341-4475. Email is info@olalayalawfirm.com or contact@olalayalawfirm.com. So come on in, say hello if you're just joining us for the first time. Tonight we are going to be tackling, I talk so much today in court, y'all. Y'all need, you think, and go, I'm just laughing because, so there's this young lady who is doing an internship at the probation officers departments in the courthouse. And so she saw me this morning. She was, I always see you smile. And then she sat in the trial. She was like, I literally saw her face. So I was like, huh? And I was like, Gabby, what's going on? Like, what happened? She goes, I've never seen this side of you. Don't worry. That's just acting. That's just work. She said, I never want to make you mad. No, don't do it. But anyway, that's why my voice looks like my voice is gone. Because why not? My client is the father and the mother of the child, because he went back to where she understood the assignment from the beginning. I'm not saying what he did was right. He is married. His wife was out of the country because they're originally from another country. So he was here. His wife was still there. She knew that he had plans to bring his wife here. One thing led to another. They had a baby. Wife came in. As soon as wife came into the United States, mother of the child decided, you're not seeing your child anymore. Pleaded with her, begged her, until he now finally came to me last December. Like, I need to see my son. So there you have it. But anyway, please share, like, follow Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. Subscribe on our YouTube channel. We very much appreciate that. Visit our website, @llafirm.com. There's a lot of information. It's also the way you can easily book your consultation with us. And like I said, we will be happy and glad to put you through this immigration case. Let's talk immigration. Miss Ellen the Sanctuary has been, gracious enough to put information on. Well, custody bad. I'm telling you, that's why my hair is gray. It's not the immigration. It's it's the What's other call like, Judge, why don't you make everybody take the drug test right now? Sometimes you got to take your gamble and see how it goes. But 334-3414-4775. Contact us. We'll be glad to help you. Let's talk immigration, y'all. What are we talking about tonight? This is a night of immigration questions. Let's just tackle questions and get as many questions answered as possible. Keep in mind, answers to questions are just general information, nothing specific to anyone's case. If you need a more comprehensive, detailed, strategic analysis of your case, that's what we do in the consultation. So you would be better off scheduling one. So it's a night of immigration questions. Put the questions in the comment section, and I will try to go through as many as we can within the time that we have to get those questions answered. So at least we'll see if that helps you guys in this immigration journey that some of us has been through. We thank God for keeping us through it. And here we are. Hello, Mr. Abu. How are you? Hello, Mr. Rekoya. What's going on? Mr. Banner says, good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining. Kindly like this video and subscribe to this channel. Yes, YouTube channel at Olaleye Immigration on all social media platforms. Okay. Yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Good evening from what is that? Miss Collins, where is that? I don't know. Is it Kidskin? Miss Giwa, I don't know what that is. Anyway, but welcome in, Joanna Collins. Thank you for joining. Hello, Miss Giwa. How are you? Happy Thursday. Hello, Miss Pinky, the latest green card holder in town. It's probably on cloud 9 and 10 and 11 combined. How are you doing? Y'all, if I stutter, it's because I'm really tired. So please do me a big favor. Please don't repeat your questions. That would help to go through them as quickly as possible. So let's get into it. Okay. Let's get into it. Let's have some questions answered. Good evening, Decor by Yawa. How are you? All right, let's see. So we try to do question night like every third live or every third or fourth live. So we can, I do questions almost every time, but we dedicate the whole show to questions from time to time. So every third show that we do. So yeah. Yeah, never seen you laugh before. Really? I laugh all the time. Come on. Okay. What can I do if I didn't receive my receipt of notice after 50 days? What case? What kind of case is it? Does changing address in the same state affect your 180 days waiting period on work permit? What work permit are you waiting 180 days? Are you back to? Are you? Did you file an asylum application? Because that's the only thing that you would have to wait. That's the only immigration benefit I can think of that would require you to wait before it is issued. But if that's what you filed, general information, nothing specific to anyone's case, it's just general information. But if that's what you filed, changing your address has nothing to do with the 180 days before you get your, well, you file 150 days after your asylum case has been pending, and then they cannot approve it earlier than 180 days. If that's what you're talking about, then that's basically how it goes. But changing address does not make any difference or delete anything. Okay. Any question about processing time, please go on uscis.gov/processing time. I'll tell you though, if you have a pending VAWA case, keep in mind that USCIS's processing time is an average. They've taken about 80% of a case time, and based on the average time it's taking them to adjudicate that case time, that's what makes up the time frame you see on the processing time website. So for instance, I do quite a bit of VAWA cases, and I went on there today. As of today, it is showing that VAWA cases are now being adjudicated for up to 40 months. That's 3 years and almost 3.5 years. It's just something. But that's what you would need to go to find out about processing time. Good night. Can I marry U.S. citizen, but I don't have parole? What do you mean you don't have parole? Did you come in without inspection? Is that what you're saying? I'm an RN nurse. I have pending asylum. My hospital wants to sponsor me. Can I get a green card? Your hospital can file an I-140 petition, which is the online petition for you. The question is, are you eligible to adjust status in the country because you've got a pending asylum case? Short answer to that is generally no. But if you never accrued unlawful presence, or you maintain status for quite a bit of time, and based on the delay caused by USCIS, which they refer to as a technical violation, you may be able to fight that, but it's a whole long process. But if you don't fall within that, or you were already out of status when you filed the asylum application, you can't get a green card in the country through employment. What to do if VAWA is denied? Will the refile take another 4 years? Generally, yes. Generally, yes. Okay, let's see. 83 days, still no biometrics date for work permits. VAWA approved. 83 days, still no biometrics date for work permits. VAWA approved to LPR. That is a very confusing question. If you're waiting for biometrics date for work permits, how can the VAWA approve? I'm not understanding your question. Well, that's not a question actually. Adjusting my status from K1 to green card. What's your question? I received RFP for medical only under CGs. How? Okay, anything about question time, like I said, go ahead and look at that. Hello, Mrs. Lawyer. That's anyone. Hello, Mrs. Lawyer. How are you doing today? I'm good. Thank you for asking. Okay, Mohammed, asylum. Yeah, so you changing address has nothing to do with anything. Does USCIS have jurisdiction over arriving alien in remote proceedings? Generally, yes. I received RFP. Okay, please do not repeat your questions. Please do not. If you repeat the questions, if I see your question more than one time, I'm going to skip the question altogether. Okay. VAWA recipients, how an associate and bachelor's degree in business administration recently bachelor's degree in business administration recently married. So what's your question? What can I do if I don't receive receipt of the notice after 50 days through K1 visa? Contact USCIS. I think that's the same person who asked the question earlier. Okay. It's going to be 10 years this coming September. Did I still qualify for the new executive order? 10 years for what? So the new executive order, basically, to an easy way to just explain it is it applies to people who generally cross the border, and when detected when they cross the border. Does that make sense? If you came on a plane to the United States, or airplane, not going to the airport, a land, and go through a port of entry, what's happening? It doesn't apply to you. So if you went through that, you're not eligible for the executive order. That's number one. Now, if you came into the country and you did not get any stamp, nobody saw you come in, or you were in somebody's car when they drove across and you went and waved through, but they didn't ask you anything, that's you entering that inspection. That's step number one. Step number two is, or question number two is, are you married to a citizen? If you're single or you are not, were you married to a citizen as of June 17, 2024? If you are not married to a citizen as of June 17, 2024, you do not qualify. So question number one, manner of entry into the country. If you came in with a visa stamp, you do not qualify. If you did not come with a visa stamp, okay, then the question number two is, were you married to a U.S. citizen as of June 17, 2024? If the answer to that is no, you do not qualify. If the answer to that is yes, then move on to the next question. Have you been in the country for at least 10 years, physically present in the country for at least 10 years as of June 17, 2024? If you answered yes to that, then it applies to you. Then you're going to be waiting until it actually goes into effect. Then we'll have the eligibility criteria in full, how you can apply and all of that. That's the analysis of that. So just so you know, because you've been here for 10 years doesn't mean anything if you were never married to a citizen. There are steps to this executive order thing. So if you answered no to any of those questions, then you generally will not qualify for the executive order. What happens when you file for VAWA and you don't get a prima facie? What do you mean what happens? You're going to adjudicate your case. And there's so many cases. If dare I say that almost every case that's denied, I probably received a prima facie at some point. So prima facie determination does not indicate that your case is going to be approved for sure. It just says that it just indicates that they've taken an initial review of your case. Based on the initial review, it is approvable. But we're still going to do an in-depth overview adjudication. But while we do that, here is a document you can present to apply for government benefits. That's a prima facie in a nutshell. If you did not receive it, sometimes if I get to like 7 months, I don't have that in the client's case, I reach out to the Vermont Service Center. So if you've got an attorney on your case, reach out to your attorney. If you do not, USCIS has actually just changed its policy that VAWA petitioners can now call USCIS contact center, because you could not do that before. Now you can call the contact center. They would ask you specific questions to verify your identity, and they will be able to provide information about your case. So you can call them and ask them if one was ever issued in your case. And if it was, they will let you know. If not, you can request for them to see if they're going to issue one in your case. What if I'm on an asylum case and I find love and get married? Can my spouse file for me? If your spouse is a citizen, so let's just be clear, because I get that question. Look, can my spouse file for me? Okay, my spouse is a green card holder. Can they file? If you're married to a citizen or a green card holder, that spouse can always file for you, unless the spouse is prohibited from filing based on Adam Walsh Act. They can also, if they're not restricted by that, then green card holder, citizen, it doesn't matter the status. As long as they have one of the two statuses, they can file for you. The question really is, are you going to be able to apply for a green card depending on the status of your spouse? If your spouse is a green card holder and you've overstayed in the sense of, because having asylum is an authorized state, it's not a status. But you've overstayed and your spouse is a green card holder, they can file the I-130 petition for you. You just can apply for a green card in the country. If your spouse is a citizen, however, and you overstayed, it doesn't matter how long you've overstayed or have an asylum case pending, you can also do a marriage-based case without having to withdraw your asylum case. And once you get the green card through the marriage-based case, request that USCIS withdraws your asylum application. I received an RFP for I-485. I submitted 8 months ago, but I received an interview notice. Is that okay? There's nothing unusual with USCIS. I will only office on one she has the please. So yeah. Okay. Let's see. Just trying to get through other questions on TikTok. What if you've been here 10 years, but you divorced the citizen? I just said clearly what the options are, what the criteria is. If that criteria does not, there's no what, but if and what. If you do not fall within those requirements, you don't qualify. It's very straightforward. Can an EB3 petitioner include their daughter who just turned 21? EB3, well, if you have an EB3 petition that is filed, you're not the petitioner. Your employer is the petitioner. They file the petition on your behalf. There's no self-petition for EB3 category. But so I'm assuming your employer filed for you, or you're talking about an EB2 petition. However, the question is, can you include your daughter who just turned 21? Short answer to that is no. The child has to be under the age of 21. Very good. Thank you. All right, let's see. Okay, let's go to. Hello, Miss Nakobina. How are you? Okay, I'll check my email. Good evening, Miss Merther. How are you? Miss Pinky says, I'm good, man. So happy. I know. I think for someone like Miss Pinky, going through what she had to endure at the VAL stage and then with the I-45 stage, it makes you really have a different type of appreciation for what God does. So, and to be able to celebrate with her and celebrate with her, that is just, that's the reward right there. Okay, let's see. Why is VAL taking extremely forever? More than 2 years to adjudicate. How am I supposed to answer that question? And people come on very questions sometimes, like, you know what? And today's not the day to ask me these questions. Because I'm not expecting more. Like, okay. I'm guessing you're just thinking out loud, right? That's a rhetorical question. What documents are required when a father petitions for an out of wedlock son or daughter? Then you sit down with a lawyer to discuss your case. That's what you need to do. Can a U.S. citizen father use joint custody from Nigeria to apply for N-600? Can a U.S. citizen father use joint custody from Nigeria? That's Mike. Sit down with the lawyer to have that clarified and know exactly what it is you're asking. I have I-360 not applying for green card. I have prima facie determination letter biometrics done 10 months now. Yeah, you're just starting. You're just starting. Like I said earlier on, when I checked it earlier today, it's taking them right now. They're at 40 months for an average for adjudication. So if your case has been pending for only 10 months, and my nisu gone. My nisu. Okay, all right, let me go to Instagram. Let's go to Instagram. Yeah, Michelle. It shows now. Thanks for coming tonight. You're welcome. Welcome to the most positive immigration platform on social media. Where's the lie? Kindly follow, yes, at Olala Immigration, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. I'm trying to build that audience as well. Let's see. Does travel document come with U visa? It doesn't come automatically with it. What is the time limit would you suggest one should wait before calling USCIS for I-485 request of evidence submitted and acknowledged by USCIS? There's no time. For where you start from, however, first of all, is the processing time. The fact that it's sent to an RFE does not mandate them to make a decision immediately if your case is still within the normal processing time. So especially if you get an RFE from a field office, go to USCIS.gov website, put in the name of that field office, look at the processing time. If your case is still within that time frame, regardless of when you send your response to RFE, that's what they're going to go by, and they will come back and tell you your case is still within normal processing time. So I can't tell you how long to wait before you can do that. Let's see. Can you repeat your statement about employer sponsorship and the asylum application? My statement, what did I say? Can you also maybe I've already said. You're probably referring to when the employer files for you, and if you're able to adjust status. Is that what you're referring to? If you had filed an asylum case before, you filed an asylum case before you were out of status, and something what we call technical violation, meaning delay on USCIS part, is the reason why you could not adjust. Is that what you're talking about, Oladikmuko? Good evening, Miss Sophia. How are you? Let's see. About the prima facie, you said the applicant can call USCIS. My question is, can one call when they have an attorney representing them? That's the whole point of this. Now, what I've told my clients, even just whether it's VAR case or, well, generally in every case, but now including the VAR case, is that I don't have any problem with you contacting USCIS. It's your life, it's your case. Let me know. Let me know out of courtesy. Because if you do not, and then I'm sending something on your behalf that contradicts what you did, or is a repetitive request, that's aggravating, to be honest, right? It just shows that you don't, just let me send me an email. Hey, I need to find this out. I know you're busy, but just wanted to let you know I want to do this. That's it. It doesn't hurt anything. And so that's what I would suggest, Ms. Sophia. If you have an attorney in your case and you want to call them yourself, that's what USA has just clarified that you can do. But at the very least, let your attorney know. Let your attorney know before you do that. Let's see. Hello, Mr. Magic. How are you? Mr. Magic says, guys, I can work now. Thanks to Yahweh, my wife, Francis lawyer. You're welcome. You're welcome. Life changes when you're able to have an identity in this country. Life really changes. Miss Peggy says, "Oh my God, some questions are like, yeah." Congratulations, Mr. Match. Some people would say, "Well, it's not green card." That's okay. To each their own. Every single milestone in a client's case is worth a celebration. If you've been in this country for a while, you have not been able to have anything to prove identity, no identification, no social security number, nothing. You just living in the shadow. Because I've been there, you cannot tell or really explain it to anyone unless you have passed through that. And when you get that authorization to work, it's very liberating. So every single step is worth celebration. So Mr. Maggi, I'm happy you're happy. I'm saying this, I'm going at it again. Okay, unlogical court. There's this case law where the guy was on F1. He filed for asylum, and by the time his program was done, the asylum case was still pending. Then his employer filed an I-140 for him. It got approved. Priority date became current. He applied for green card. USCIS says, no, you don't have status. They went all the way to the U.S. District Court. They came back and said, well, in that specific case, it was a technical violation because, but for USCIS's delay, then they wouldn't have had to go out of status. That is a landmark case, but that's been the only case so far. And you've got to live in a specific area that circuit court circuit court actually covers. Up to now, USCIS still would probably deny your case, but you have to be able to speak with a lawyer and consult with them to discuss your specific case and then know what's best for you. Hello, Mr. Solomon. How are you? Okay, here we go. We've gone from friends to cousins. I-45 interview was scheduled, but my cousin, I need to go change my family members and friends because nobody tells me anything. More this things. How do you people just come like whoa, like nobody tells me that besides my client. Like, okay, but let's stay focused. I-45 interview was scheduled for my cousin and his spouse. Okay. They couldn't attend the interview because she was ill during that period. She called USCIS field office to let them know and to reschedule. So what's your question? Hi, ma'am. I've been following you for a while now. I had a visa issue with Canadian Embassy since 2021. Is it possible to apply again? I don't do Canadian immigration. What questions are asked during our green card interview? Sit down with the lawyer to go through that. I thought you said if you're on asylum pending application that an employer cannot file for you again. That's not what I said. So this video will be up on all platforms when we're done. That's not what I said. And this is the reason why I always say disclaimer. This is just general information. This is nothing specific to anyone's case. If you want to discuss your case, that is where you have to pay for a consultation. You can't just go. Some things are not just okay. This is because everyone's case is different, right? So you've got to understand. So that's not what I said, but you can go back and listen to what I said. But sit down with a lawyer and figure out what your own options are. Just base it on the general information that I'm providing. Okay, USCIS may deny the case. USCIS sent an email that the I-45 is in line for processing. My cousin submit USCIS mentioned my cousin still submit I-290B. What your cousin needs to do is to consult with a lawyer. You need to change family and friends. Okay. What can I do if my case is denied due to petitioner not showing up for the interview? What are my options? And is it best to reopen the case? That is a good example of someone who should consult with a lawyer to know why their case was denied. In addition to petitioner not showing up, was there abuse in your marriage? What options do you have? That's what a consultation is for. Next week, I'm coming with my uncle's question. Mr. Bena. Hello, attorney. It's Oluyemi. Please check your email. Okay, Mr. Oluyemi, I think I know who that is. But I think you're my client, and as you would know, I always say I will check mail within you get a response within 72 hours. So if you just send me an email today, it's not going to be today because today has been a long day. So as long as it was today, which most likely is, I have 72 hours to respond to you. I-130 still pending. It was submitted April 2022. Any advice? If it's still within the more process in time, then it's probably you just have to wait. Can you explain how withhold work when you apply for one? I'm assuming you mean withholding of removal. If that's what you're asking, if you're granted that, you can only be granted withholding of removal in court. And once you're granted that, it is actually you're going to be ordered removed from the U.S. They just would not return you from the country that you claim to be afraid of going back to. U.S. government would look for 3 other countries and ask them if they're willing to take you. I've not seen any country say, hey, I'm not willable, like our own issues are not okay for our country. So most people who are granted withholding removal usually end up not going anywhere. Thank you, Miss Peggy. Okay, let's see. All right. I told my lawyer that if she can transfer my I-130 approval to my VAD case, the answer was no. She also wanted to continue my VAD case and to drop the petition that my son filed for me because immigration will send my appointments to my country if I choose to continue with the I-130 approved. Miss Murtha, your son filed for you. That permit to work is a gift from heaven. Yes. I just want to understand, Miss Murtha, you said so you've got the I-130. So there's a policy that actually says USC has to transfer the priority date, and that the whole point of it is so your case, and if you've got an I-130 that had been filed on your behalf before, if you have an I-130 that your abusive spouse filed for you, and then your VAD case gets approved, look at the approval notice. It would say priority date, and it would be the date of your I-130. That's the whole point. Whether or not USCIS would now apply that, I've seen that done in like half of my cases that fall within that category. So it's not like it's not can be done. It's just depending on USCIS may or may not do it. And so clarify for me, Ms. Murtha, when you say your they will send your I-130 to your country if your son files for you. I'm not following that. Can you clarify that? Can someone file a divorce from the US, a marriage held in Africa? Precious, I'm thinking that you mean if you are here and the marriage happened in Nigeria, Ghana, wherever it is. Okay, are you able to not file a divorce from here? General information. I'm not saying that's what you should do or not do. If you have established residency in the state you live in, generally you should be able to do that. If the other person is not living in US and they're back in your home country, they must agree to waive service and waive jurisdiction. So that's usually how it goes. Whether or not in your case you can, that's something you sit down with a lawyer to discuss. Okay. What are some things that an immigrant should do once reaching the USA? I mean, legal things to put in place for living in the country. I don't know. I could understand your question. What do you mean? What are things that you should do once reaching the USA? Legal things to put in place for living in the country. Okay. Miss Murtha, I'm still waiting for. I filed an I-130 EAD is outside person time. What can I do? So that again, contact USCIS and let them know. If it's outside the more pressing time, reach out to your congressman or woman, senator. Submit an e-request, ombudsman assistance. Those things can help. One of those things will help to get it moving. Okay. Hello, Miss Mackie. How are you? My cousin. Yo, 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕, I can't laugh. Miss Mackie says, my cousin's brother is still looking for a date for his F1. I'm telling you. All righty. Let's see. Karen Pride. Karen, I'm trying to look for your question. I think. Mario Livingston. I see your question, but you've written your question like 3 times. That's why your question is not getting answered. Okay. Yes, my son filed for me and was approved. And also I filed for a vow because my husband physically abused. So I filed for a vow for my son filed for me. So your son filed for you and has been approved. But you came, aren't you on a valid visa till now? Ms. Murtha, you're still on the valid visa, right? Let me know if you're still on a valid visa. Okay. My VA case is now 2 years and 8 months. My case was updated on, they updated I-765, yada, yada, yada. But my private feature expired this month. It will be 5 months now. No approval, no work permit. Okay. Tamika Green. I know that's your realness, so I'm not worried about that. When did you file the work permit? When did you file the work permit, Tamika? Ms. Merton, but what visa did you come into the country with? Thank you for the response. On the average, what is the average time frame from the time of filing before interview for an asylum? Time from filing before interviews are taking forever now. So, like, really, like asylum interviews are taking years. That's what a lot of people are looking forward to. I have a client who consulted with me yesterday. They filed the asylum case in 2014. That's 10 years. It's ridiculous. Okay. Miss Tamika, when did you file the work permit? Miss Murphy, if you answer the question, what did you come in on a valid visa? Okay. See, he said we'll redo it again and also apply for a waiver to go with the application. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, that's good. I love what you get. Lines very helpful. Thank you. Okay, so you came in with a visitor visa. So why would you not? I mean, obviously, your son would have only been able to file for you because he's a citizen, and that's been approved. So why would you not? You're considered an immediate relative, whether or not you've overstayed, as long as you came in legally. Which, if you're saying for vacation, I'm assuming you have a visitor visa that you came in with. And if that's the case, your son filed and the I-130 has been approved. I'm trying to understand what lawyer is telling you that you have to go home to get the immigrant visa when you're considered an immediate relative. You need to sit down with a lawyer and get a second opinion. There's nothing that says you have to wait for your VA case to be approved, especially if you have an alternative that's probably going to be much faster than waiting unless there's something. That's not making sense. There's no how someone who came in legally, you've overstayed, yes, and your child is a citizen that filed for you, an immediate relative as a parent of a U.S. citizen. There is absolutely no requirement that you have to leave the country because you're exempt from the unlawful presence. So get a second opinion. Because if your son filed for you and it's been approved since 2021, that's 3 years ago. That's not making sense. I applied travel document almost a year ago. Do you have any idea how long it would take? I do not. Okay. All right, people. Let's see. I think we got through. Next week, Tuesday, I'll be coming with my uncle's sister really got a question. Hey, Mama. My mom is on editor 63. I appreciate it when you answer questions. Thank you. Good evening, Grandma. Y'all say hello to my mama. Thank you, Crown Bola. Hello, Island Girl. How are you? Greeting you from Nigeria. Wale Methil. Thank you. Shalafia Lewa. Let's see. Okay. All right, people. I think I have. Good evening, Miss Ola. I sent you emails. Please check them. Hello, Miss Adjuni. If you send me an email, if it's today, I have some 2 hours to respond to that email. And I think it's in all my emails that don't. So please don't send me another follow up. But I would. It's not going to be tonight. Y'all, I'm human. My name is sometimes but you will get a response. It's not just going to be tonight. So, um, no, Miss Tamika, that's not. I'm not asking you. I'm asking Miss Merther. That was question. How she came in was from Miss Merther. You said you handle divorce cases for only Alabama residents. Can you handle for other states? I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Just you must have contacted my office before because I didn't say that this evening. But I cannot handle divorces in other states. No, I can handle immigration for people in other states, not divorce is state specific. So that means that unlike immigration, that's federal practice. And if you're looking at divorce, you need an attorney in the state that you live in to help you out. Okay. If someone has a police case and the person files a waiver and it was approved, is it okay if the person travels with parole? Sit down with a lawyer to discuss that. All right. Oladipo, when she just on Instagram, I'm an asylum. One of my spouse is a green card holder, but that just filed for N400. And okay, what is the best appropriate time she can file for me under marriage-based application? You and your spouse need to sit down with a lawyer and get those questions answered. This is general information for general. You understand? Okay, no, it's general. I'm ready to file a contact video. Thank you. Thank you, Precious. Can I invite my parents as a green card holder? Yeah, sure, to come visit. Absolutely. Okay. All right, everyone. I sound tired, and I know because it's been a long week. Like I need to go just shut down. Sometimes I feel I run myself into the ground, and you passion is good, but you got it. Self care is also that's if not more important than that. But thank you always for joining. I really do appreciate it. And this week we thank God for all those we've been able to celebrate green cards approval. Miss Tina's kids all got a green cards delivered today. God has just been showing up. Um, God has been showing up for us. God has been, you know, giving us that blessing. We're decreeing to this July that it's going to be a month of abundance and favor, uncommon favors. We're not halfway through the month, although July is running. I don't know where it's running to because July 4th was just like 2 minutes ago. Now it's almost July 12th. But we thank God. Yeah, I know. We thank God for his blessings. We thank God because we know that until we get that desired result that he has destined for us, whatever obstruction or detours may come along the way is just going to be a distraction. Nothing, and no matter woman is going to do to prevent us from getting to where we need to get. So thank you all. On the vow, I filed everything. They say it's C31. Did my biometrics all over 2 years. That's why you don't have your work permit, Tamika. And I'm guessing you don't have a lawyer, right? You did this yourself, right, Tamika? Because if you got yourself a lawyer, you would have known, or your lawyer would have filed your work permit under the C9 category. You selected because you said you selected a C31. Yes, no? Gotta type fast so we can get off. But listen, I'm not sure if you're typing anymore. But if what you filed 2 years ago in 2022 was a C31 a category chosen on your I-765, then that's why you don't have your work permit, because you're not going to get a C31. I've said this so many times. You're not going to get a C31 work permit approved while the VAWA case is pending. C31 comes with your VAWA approval because it is attached to the I-360 approval. If you want a work permit while your VAWA case is pending, you have to file an I-485 just like you've done, and then your work authorization you have to select or enter C9. C31 is only, if you look at the category, it says approved VAWA petition. The pending VAWA petition is not an approved VAWA petition. And this is why you need a lawyer. So you've just been waiting for the last 2 years without knowing what you're supposed to file. So at least we're having this conversation. Now you know why you've been waiting 2 years, because you're not going to get a C31 until your VAWA case is approved, and you may have another 1 year to still wait. So go ahead and file a new I-765 work authorization application and select C9 with a copy of your I-485 receipt notice. So I hope that helps. Okay, y'all, thank you for joining. Let's keep praying. Let's keep believing. Let's keep trusting. There's no record of failure with God, and he doesn't stop. He doesn't get weary. He doesn't get tired. And every single one of us, because we are made in his image, that means we shall and must succeed. That means our journey to this foreign land cannot be in vain. That means that everything he has destined for us shall come to pass. The only question is, are we going to be patient enough for that appointed time? Bible says the vision is for an appointed time. Don't entire wait for it, because it shall surely come. Meaning that without any shadow of doubt, that blessing that has your name on it will find you, will locate you, and bless you indeed. So let us just be patient. Let's be patient, waiting on God, believing that journey, just like he did for Miss Blessing, Miss Pinky, Miss Juliet. Also, her case was approved today, and he's still the same God doing these miracles. And there's no one that God has forgotten. Just hold on. It shall be at the appointed time. I'll see you guys next week. Bye, everybody.